Hello, everyone. Happy New Year. I know it's January 26th, but this is the first yoga class of the year in the virtual yoga studio. How are you? And I know, like, I was just listening to a podcast and they're like, no more saying Happy New Year, but I'm going to say it to you because we have not moved since November, technically. I hope you have on your spare time, but as a collective, we have not moved since November. That was the last yoga class. So anyways, this is also kicking off a series, a mini series. It's going to be a 4-part yoga series in tandem with the Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. So we are going to be reading this book, and each month, starting this month in January, we're going to read one chapter. I'm going to probably read snippets, depends on what intuition is telling me, but we are going to focus on one chapter in each of these classes, journal, and I'll be providing a journal prompt, and we'll move our body. So yeah. So let's get into it. And I encourage you to buy this book or get it from the library. I feel like the library gets slept on, So get this book, everybody. It is an incredible book that my therapist recommended for me when I started my therapy journey. And it's a short read. Like it's very thin. It's 140 pages, and that's like that's like extra stuff. So it's under 140 pages. Anyways, all right. So we're going to be reading Don't Take Anything Personally, chapter 3. So whatever happens around you, don't take it personally. Using an earlier example, if I see you on the street and I say, hey, you are so stupid without knowing you, it's not about you. It's about me. If you take it personally, then perhaps you believe you are stupid. Maybe you think to yourself, how does he know? Is he clairvoyant, or can somebody see how stupid I am? You take it personally because you agree with whatever was said. As soon as you agree, the poison goes through you and you are trapped in the dream of hell. What causes you to be trapped is what we call personal importance. Personal importance, or taking things personally, is the maximum expression of selfishness because we make the assumption that everything is about me. So I'm going to put a pin in that because he uses some strong words, right? He says that if somebody calls you stupid and you take that in, that's you taking in poison, and poison is bad. It can kill you, right? So, and then once you take in this poison, he's then saying that you'll be trapped, and then you'll have this personal importance. Also, what I think of personal importance as is entitlement, right? And the maximum, which is the maximum expression of selfishness, because we make the assumption that everything is about me, and everything is not about us. Like everything we do, it's not about us. Like when you're doing things for the greater good, if that be your job, whatever you're doing, it's not about you. If you are a mom, you obviously know this. It is not about you. And if anything, being a mom is such an amazing experience because you really get that mindset shift without even asking, knowing that everything we do, it's not about us. It's about us as a collective. Like we all want to make sure everybody around us is good, right? So nothing other people do is because of you. I'm going to read that again. Nothing other people do is because of you. It is because of themselves. All people live in their own dream, in their own mind. They are in completely different world from the one we live in. When we take something personally, we make the assumption that they know what is in our world, and we try to impose our world on their world. Even when a situation seems so personal, even if others insult you directly, let me read that again. Even when a situation seems so personal, even if others insult you directly, it has nothing, I need to underline this for me, to do with you. What they say, what they do, and the opinions they give. Say that again. What they say, what they do, and the opinions that they give are according to the agreements they have in their own mind. So you see how he ties it in. So there are 4 agreements, right? So he's saying those people that say what they say, whatever they say about you, right? It's not true. It's not true. And it's especially not true if it's not kind, loving words. Their point of view comes from all the programming they received during domestication. So earlier in the book, he shares like what domestication means. It just means like you're coming up, like when you were raised, how your parents raised you, the environment you're in, all of that is domestication. All right. And then he calls all of this like things that people say, like, so he then goes on to explaining another situation, calling that poison. And he's like, you eat all their emotional garbage. So if somebody says you're dumb, whatever they say, and you take that in, remember he calls it poison. He's then saying that you're eating all their emotional garbage, and now it becomes your garbage. But if you do not take it personally, you are immune in the middle of hell. Immunity to poison in the middle of hell is the gift of this agreement. When you take things personally, then you feel offended. And I stopped there because of like that. Yeah. Did I say this is for me? But I know somebody else needs this too. When you take things personally, then you feel offended. And your reaction is to defend your beliefs and create conflicts. And we do that because we're trying to, our brain, right? Our brain is here to keep us safe. So you take in this garbage and then you're like, oh my God, you feel terrified, right? So you're like, oh, I got to defend myself because your brain is wanting to keep you safe, but you're actually doing so much more work. So it's like, don't take it in, but how do we do that, right? So let's keep reading. So when you take things personally, then you feel offended and your actions defend your beliefs and create conflicts. You make something big out of something so little. You make something big out of something so little. He put so before little. Like he didn't put so before big. So he's like, we're making it this big thing when it's really just so little, because you have the need to be right and make everybody else wrong. So I'm gonna read that sentence again. You make something big out of something so little because you have the need to be right and make everybody else wrong. So that goes into ego, right? Living in that ego of like entitlement, the personal importance, all of the things we don't need to live in. You also try hard to be right by giving them your opinions. In the same way, whatever you feel and do is just a projection of your own personal dream, a reflection of your own agreements. What you say, what you do, and the opinions you have are according to the agreements you have made. And that's why we are reading from this book, because if you're like, damn, that's me, you're now changing your mindset. And you're now agreeing to use these 4 agreements as the way that you move forward in life, okay? What you say, what you do, and the opinions you have are according to the agreements you have made. This is one of the agreements. Do not take anything personal. So if you have that as one of your agreements, as one of your beliefs, that I am not going to take anything personally, then you will walk in such a better way. And know that these opinions that others are saying have nothing to do with you. It's not about you. It is not important to me what you think about me. It is not important to me what you think about me. I'm now on page 50, and I don't take what you think personally. When they say, Miguel, you're the worst, Miguel is the author, I know that when you are happy, you will tell me, Miguel, you are such an angel. But when you are mad at me, you will say, oh, Miguel, you are such a devil. You are so disgusting. How can you say those things? Either way, it does not affect me because I know what I am. I don't have the need to be accepted. I don't have the need to have someone tell me, Miguel, you are doing so good, or how dare you do that? No, I don't take it personally. So you see here, the person's like complimenting the author, and the author's like, I'm not even going to take that in. So knowing that you, wherever you go in your work, on a date, wherever you're going, like you got to check yourself and figure out how you're feeling before you meet anybody. Because even if the person's like, you look so beautiful, you look so pretty, thanks so much, right? You say thank you, but like you don't wait for that person to say, do I look pretty? Are they going to tell me that I look pretty? Or like say something for them to like make them say that you look pretty. Like, don't do that. Like, and that, because that's then, you know, taking things personally and like holding on to people's every word, which I used to do. And sometimes I still catch myself and like, oh my gosh, like, you know, waiting for other people to approve of me. And that's why I really wanted to start this year off with not to take anything personal, because when you know, don't take anything personal, you will be able to move forward better in your life. And I'm going to read a few more snippets of this section, but just telling you what's coming up next in this workshop class. I will be providing you a journal prompt. I'm looking to see, I have it. Yeah, the journal prompt and an affirmation. I encourage you to put this affirmation like on your desktop, on your phone, like screensaver, somewhere that you can always see. And you'll see what the affirmation is in a little bit. And you probably can already guess what it is. But I just wanted to give these like more things like worksheets so that, you know, you have something to work on until we meet again next month, right? So he doesn't take anything personally. Whatever you think, whatever you feel, I know is your problem. I'm on page 51, and not my problem. It is the way you see the world. So whenever somebody tells you something good or bad, it's the way they see the world, and it has nothing to do with you. And I'm hearing that for myself on a deeper level, because it's like, it's how they see the world is what they're gonna say, good or bad. So it's like, that's why we're gonna do yoga, you know, move our bodies. But that's why I love the yoga practice, because everything is, it just is. There is no polarity in it, like good, bad, it just is. And that's why when we move today, and we're going to do both sides of the body, and I'm going to tell you, notice how the right side feels versus the left, but not attaching any judgment or any opinion, like, wow, I'm so much more flexible on this side. And then like the other side, man, I suck at, like, you know, so it's like noticing how you're talking to yourself, noticing these type of things will help you not take things personally. It really, really will. So what we're doing off of the mat right now applies on the mat and vice versa. Oh, and this part is good. You may even tell me, Miguel, what you are saying is hurting me. This part, ooh, but it is not what I am saying that is hurting you. It is that you have wounds that I touch by what I have said. You are hurting yourself. There is no way that I can take this personally, not because I don't believe in you or trust you, but because I know that you see the world with different eyes, with your eyes. You create an entire picture or movie in your mind. And in that picture, you are the director, you are the producer, you are the main actor, main character energy, right? Or actress. Everyone else is a secondary actor or actress. It is your movie. So whatever people do, feel, think, or say, don't take it personally. If they tell you how wonderful you are, they are not saying that because of you. You know you are wonderful. There we go. You know you are wonderful because you say your affirmations. You say what you know to be true. You connect to your source, if that be God or whomever it is, and you know that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Like, you know this to be true. You know you are wonderful. It is not necessary to believe other people who tell you that you are wonderful. Do not. He said this a lot, y'all. So I think, you know, he's trying to say, don't take anything personally. Let's see. Okay. Going fast forwarding to page 57. When we really see other people as they are without taking it personally, we can never be hurt by what they say or do. Even if others lie to you, he says it's okay. They are lying to you because they are afraid. And when I think about that, I want to put a pin in that. He's saying if somebody lies to you, it is okay. And they're lying because they're afraid. And I'm not going to lie, y'all. I've had moments you lie about something and it's because you're afraid of what the other person's reaction is. But if you know, and that's why this agreement is so powerful, if you know that you can't take anything personal. If you like have that in your head, I can't take anything personal. You can't take on how the other person's going to react and think that they're mad at you. It just doesn't work that way. And that can be a challenging like thing to even like wrap your head around, because you're like, well, I said this to them. So you, like he said, like it's old wounds that you're bringing up, but like it was going to be brought up one way or the other. You just so happen to be the person, but it's not your fault. It's not your fault. So talk truthfully, okay? They are afraid you will discover that they are not perfect. It is painful to take that social mask off. If others say one thing, but do another, you are lying to yourself. If you don't listen to their actions, but if you're truthful with yourself, you will save yourself a lot of emotional pain. That's good. If someone is not treating you with love and respect, it is a gift if they walk away from you. If that person doesn't walk away, you will surely endure many years of suffering with him or her. Walking away may hurt for a while, but your heart will eventually heal. Then you can choose what you really want. You will find that you don't need to trust others as much as you need to trust yourself to make the right choices. The whole world can gossip about you, and if you don't take it personally, you are immune. So it's like he's even throwing like medical terminology, because we know, immune means that you're not going to catch it or get sick, right? So again, the whole world, he says, the whole world can gossip about you. And if you don't take it personally, you are immune. Someone can intentionally send emotional poison, and if you don't take it personally, you will not eat it. When you don't take the emotional poison, it becomes even worse in the sender, but not in you. You can see how important this agreement is. Take nothing personally helps you to break many habits and routines that trap you in the dream of hell and cause needless suffering. Just by practicing this second agreement, you begin to break dozens of teeny tiny agreements that cause you to suffer. And if you practice the first two agreements, you will break 75% of the teeny tiny agreements that keep you trapped in hell. So he then says, write this agreement on paper, and I'm actually going to provide this, so don't worry. But he says, write this agreement on paper and put it on your refrigerator to remind you all the time, don't take anything personally. As you make a habit, and I'm going to close out the chapter, it's almost done. As you make a habit of not taking anything personally, you won't need to place your trust in what others do or say. You will only need to trust yourself to make responsible choices. You are never responsible for the actions of others. You are only responsible for you. When you truly understand this and refuse to take things personally, you can hardly be hurt by the careless comments or actions of others. If you keep this agreement, you can travel around the world with your heart completely open. We'll do some heart openers today to help with that. And no one can hurt you. No one. You can say, I love you without fear of being ridiculed or rejected. You can ask for what you need. You can ask for what you need, guys. You can say yes, or you can say no. Whatever you choose without guilt or self-judgment. You can choose to follow your heart always. Then you can be in the middle of hell and still experience inner peace and happiness. You can stay in your state of bliss and hell will not affect you at all. So that is, don't take anything personally in the 4 agreements. Awesome. So now we are going to, and I'm gonna drink some water. So check in with yourself. Did anything come up? If it did, that is completely normal. And I'm here to tell you that, you're in a safe space, and I don't want you to judge yourself. I don't want you to judge yourself. You're already doing what you need to do. You're here, you're healing. All right. So I'm going to share my screen. I don't know. Every time I say that, I feel like I'm at my corporate job. So hold on. Let's see. Okay. So this is, y'all seen all my business. Okay, wonderful. So this is the affirmation that I have provided for you. And it is, I will not take anything personal today. So it's a little different than what Mr. Ruiz said, but I encourage you to screenshot this. Is like, if you're somebody today, and I know that like intuitively I was called to read from this chapter because I know I needed it, but I know you need it as well. Screenshot this, put it, like I said, as your phone background, as your desktop background, print it out. If you're able to print it in color, amazing, and put it somewhere that you frequent, if that be your bathroom mirror, wherever you frequent. But again, the affirmation is, I will not take anything personal today. All right. So you can only take it one day at a time. So I encourage you, wherever you have this, that you say it out loud, how I am saying it. I want you to say it. So say it with me this time. I will not take anything personal today. All we have is right now. All we have is today. We cannot worry about the past. We cannot worry about tomorrow, 5 years from now. We worry about today. Today, you will not take anything personal. I believe in you. I do. All right, let me now share the journal prompt. So this is the journal prompt, and don't worry, for those that are watching the recording, this will be in the links below the video. So in the links below the video, you'll see a link. Click that and you're going to see both of the documents. Okay. So the journal prompt, this is from Miguel Ruiz's website, miguelruiz.com. And it's actually 3 questions that he provides. So I'm going to read the first question, which is, what are some of the ways you have taken things personally? And if you haven't already, I encourage you to get, a piece of paper. If you have a journal, I encourage you to get one of those and just start one today. We're still in the top of the year, so start your journal practice today, right? Because I say that instead of a piece of paper because, like, let's be real, the piece of paper, you write it down and then you don't know where the piece of paper is. Whereas a journal, you can keep it like it's kept together, right? So get your journal. And again, the first question is, what are some of the ways you have taken things personally? So this is just, think of a time, an example that you may have like really taken something personally. And maybe even in this situation, can you think of like how Mr. Ruiz was saying, how like it really wasn't that big of a deal. It was actually really something like you were making this big thing, you were creating a story in your head. And then when you spoke with that person, you realized you were just creating all this story, right? So that's the first question. Do you believe the opinion of others are more important than your own? So again, do you believe that the opinion of others are more important than your own? And I want to go back to question 1. What are some of the ways you have taken things personally? Before we go into the part where I already said this, but like, and if you confronted the person, maybe you haven't. If you haven't, that's okay. That's why you're here. How did you feel? Like, how did you feel when, I'm just going to give not an example, but kind of like if somebody said like, what you're doing is dumb. Like, I don't know why you're showing up on social media. Nobody's paying attention. Okay, maybe it's a little targeted towards me, but what are some of the ways? So I could take that personally, them saying like, oh, what you're doing is dumb. Like, it's dumb. And then I could take that personally and stop showing up online and just being small and like not talking, because that one person, remember, whatever somebody else says, that's their perspective because of the world that they were raised in. And that how that made me feel, it made me feel small. It made me feel silly. It made me feel like, man, maybe they are right. Because, the doubt creeps in at times. Okay, so do you believe the opinion of others are more important than your own? This is like a yes or no question, but I really want you to delve into this. And you can pause me if you're watching this as a recording. So I encourage you to pause after each question and write. And I also will say, because this is 3 questions and they can be very loaded, take one day. So do one question, the first question today, do the second question tomorrow, and then the third question the following day. So this is like a 3-part, you're getting a 3-part within this whole thing. But anyways, so again, do you believe the opinion of others are more important than your own? So you might say yes, you might say no, but I want you to go into that. If you do believe, yes, they are, because why? And just start writing it out, knowing that there is no right answer. I just want you to get it out, because when you see what you're writing, you're gonna be like, what? But I say that because I want you to see it, okay? So no judgment of what you're saying. What you're saying is valid. Okay, so pause me here. And then the third question. So now you're doing question 3, and I encourage you to do these questions separate days. Especially, let me rewind a little bit, especially if you're somebody that, this is really resonating with you and you're like, I'm feeling a lot of emotion by this. Maybe you're getting emotional. Please do these questions one at a time. Last question. Do you take it personally if someone disagrees with you? And I had to include this question because, to be honest with you all, when I saw these questions, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do one because a lot of words and da-da-da. And then I was like, I saw the second question. I was like, no, but they need this one. And then I saw the third question. I was like, but they need this too. You need this too, especially in social media age where we're all in, where, you can voice your opinion about something and somebody else can say the complete opposite thing. Both things can be true. When you think about that phrase, it's true. Both things can be true, but you don't need to put your energy into what the other person says. If you don't agree with that person, great, move away from that, right? So again, do you take it personally if someone disagrees with you? Yes or no? Whatever your answer is, if it is yes, most likely it is. And then you go into it. Yes, I take it personally when somebody disagrees with me, because then it makes me feel like my point is not valid. It makes me feel like I'm not credentialed enough. It makes me feel that I'm not smart enough. You see how we're getting into this? You're getting deeper and deeper. I'm not smart enough. Should I be doing what I'm doing? You get what? And you go deeper, deeper, deeper. Okay. So these are your questions. These are your journal prompts. Again, please do these questions one at a time, one day per question. You have plenty of time because, we'll meet again next month. But we're not done yet. We are now going to do, which is perfect timing. We're about 30 minutes in. We're now going to move our bodies. Okay. So I am going to stop sharing my screen. This is going to be below. So don't worry. If you're like, oh my God, wait, the link is below for the document. So you'll have the affirmation. I don't know how I'm doing this, but you'll have the affirmation document. And then you'll also have the journal prompts. Wonderful. Okay, so let's get on the mat. It is the new year, y'all. I'm gonna still say it because I haven't seen you all since last year. Can you believe it? And I figured, because I was gonna have us do a class in December, and it's like everything was just happening so quick for me, and I was like, no, let me give myself a break too. And I'm so much better for it. So anyways, enough about me, because it's not about me, right? What did Mr. Ruiz say? It's not about me, so we're gonna start actually and get you a pillow or a bolster, okay? Because we're gonna do a little bit of heart openers, because going back to what Mr. Miguel was saying in the 4 agreements, you have to learn how to trust yourself. When you're able to trust yourself and open up your heart, then it's easier for you not to take things personal. But if you don't know how to trust yourself, it's very challenging to know it's very challenging it's easier to take things personally if you don't know how to trust yourself. So I'm going to help you with that. I'm going to help you learn how to trust yourself through yoga poses. All right. So I'm going to set my watch because I like to close my rings. That's important to me. Yoga is an option on your watch in case you don't know already. And we're going to start, because I can have pins and needles in my feet. We're going to start with waterfall pose. So I'm sliding my butt towards the wall and I'm putting my feet up. Now I'm going to put my arms over my head. Ooh. And you could open up your feet as wide as your hips. Let's just settle in. As you're settling in, noticing how you're feeling, just allowing the feelings to wash over you. And if you're emotional at all, or it's a little too much for you, please, you could pause the video and come back at a later time. I want you to start taking deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Do that again, in through your nose. And out through your mouth. One more time. Good. Gently roll onto whichever side you need. Hop ourselves up. Gonna warm up our spine a little bit. Some cat-cow, get on all fours. Just drop your, drop. Roll. Drop like a cow. On your spine like a cat. Sway your hips left and right. Good. Let's turn our fingers towards our knees. Turn your fingers towards your knees. Come slightly back. We're stretching our hips. Bring that belly button towards your spine so your spine is neutral. And then just lean back slightly. This is a very intense stretch. Good. Undo that. Come onto your heels. Shake out your hands. Reach up above. Let's go to your left. Drop your shoulders. Go the other way. Drop your shoulders. Look up at your hands. Good. Inhale, reach up. Relax your shoulders. Palms are facing together. Glue those fingers together. I don't want to see your hands like glue. Have purpose in your hands. Lift up. Breathe in. Exhale, cactus. So this is a heart opener. We're opening up our chest. Inhale. Do that again. Hold it. So this is a heart opener. We're opening up our chest. And you might notice maybe you feel a little vulnerable doing this pose. You might feel exposed, right? So this helps you to just notice how it feels to do this physical pose, this chest opener, this heart opener. So then you can take this off of the mat and be like, okay, well, I did this, come up. I did this on the mat. I know how it felt. So now, I can trust myself to do other things. Good. Give yourself a hug. Telling yourself, I am trustworthy. I am trustworthy. And I will not take anything personally. Read that in. Very good. I gotta take this off, y'all. I'm getting a little warm and we haven't even done a whole lot. We're gonna get into child's pose. So if you want to do that at this time. Child's pose is where you put your big toes together and you open up your knees as wide as your mat, coming back on to your bum. Okay, I was looking to see if I had a block, because I know for some, coming back onto the bum and then keeping this upper body down on the mat causes your bum to come up a little more. The goal is to have that bum on with the heels. And breathe. Deep breathing, you're doing great. Good. Gently come out of that. We're gonna get into, we're actually just gonna use our prop and we're going to, this is going to be a more condensed class today, since we did discuss, we did a lot actually, we read, we journaled. So this class is going to be way more condensed than what I normally, we normally do. But, and you can just sit with me, we're still at the top of the year, right? And a lot of us may have a tendency to want to jump into the new year, we're just diving in it. And it's really important to ease your way into the year. So, we're just going to do easeful movement, right? Just really easeful movement. So before we use that, we're going to sit in our easy pose, because we haven't done that yet. So sit in our easy pose. And I like to put one foot in front of the other, okay? Good. Relax. Remove the flesh from your sit bones. Relax your jaw. Palms facing down to feel grounded. Grounded, what does that mean? To feel connected to your body. Grounded means to feel connected to your body, okay? And do some twisting. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist to your right. Putting that left hand on the outside of your right thigh, putting the right hand behind you. Relax your shoulders. Relax your jaw. Breathe in. Exhale, turn your chin slightly back, just like a millimeter, as you exhale. Okay, be center. Let's do the opposite way. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, go the opposite way. Noticing how this side feels. Not attaching any judgment on this side or greatness, just being. Back to the center. Shake your head yes and no. Good. Very good. Just roll your shoulders. Relax your jaw. If you had one foot in front of the other, swap it. Okay. And we're just gonna go like this, circle in and our hips. Okay, so you're going one way. Yes, yes, yes. When you're ready, go the opposite way. Ooh, I cracked something. Something cracked. Very good, everybody. Very good. Do some side body action. And reach up, exhale, drop that left hand. And then the right hand is above you. I want you to look at your right palm. The palm is facing you, okay? And just extend that right arm. Imagine somebody's pulling it. Because what you want is that stretch in that lower part of your side, that right side body, right lower side body. I want you to feel that. So if you're not feeling it, it means you gotta stretch that arm more that's up above. And make sure you're sitting up tall. You're breathing. Good. Roll forward and then go the opposite way. Put that right arm down. Now the left. So now we're looking at the left hand. Palm is facing us, okay? Like a mirror. You're looking in the mirror of your palm. Not dumping your weight. So we're sitting up, looking at that palm. Good. Roll forward. So now we're front. And then just walk your hands to meet your feet. And you're running cat-cow, but sitting. So we're just pushing our chest forward. Roll. So it looks like this. Forward. Good. Drink some water. All right, we're gonna close out with a modified, it's like a fish shavasana thing, another heart opener. So I'm gonna get on your back and you're gonna put your bolster right against your bum, okay? And you're gonna just allow your body to just rest on the bolster and allow your shoulders, they're on both sides of you, to just drop off of the pillow, okay? And then your hands by your sides, allow your feet to splay open. We will be here to close out. Good. Gently wiggle your fingers and your toes. Roll out of that. I'm going to come closer to you. All right. So just want to thank you for showing up, starting your year the best way. Make sure you do your homework and let me know how you like this series. Next month is February, so we'll be reading another agreement. What is left, you ask? There is be impeccable with your word, don't make assumptions, and always do your best. So which one should we read next? Let me know. Bye for now.